etc. But somehow, ladies and gentlemen, I must say that I had difficulties, or I have difficulties lighting that flame again. We cannot continue to allow this flame to become an illusion. The flame must reflect the reality of our lives. When integrity, when accountability from leadership, when respect for our people, when the empowerment of our people becomes the reality in our lives again, then I can understand and will appreciate the need to ignite the flame. But under the circumstances, I have difficulties doing so.
This morning's event is to really commemorate and lay wreaths on behalf of the departed souls, those who lost their lives as civilians, as security persons, as traditional persons, and that we have met here to recognize them as you always recognize the departed ones every year. And also to light the flame to indicate that the ideals of the revolution must be carried on. But you realize that the former president did something. He said he was at pain at lightening the flame, because the lightening of the flame is not an illusion. It's supposed to carry a meaning that the ideals will be carried on. But if the ideals are not being carried on, people may turn the lightning as just an illusion. And he used this occasion to send a message that yes, don't take the lightning of the flame as an illusion, take it as a serious matter. And that it means that the ideals that the June 4th came to instill in society must be carried on.
We invited everybody. In fact, this June 4 is not for me, it's not for founder Rawlings, it's not for anybody, it's not for an individual, it's for all of us who took part in the June 4 uprising and the 31st, which culminated into the formation of the NDC. So it's for all of us. So we invited all and sundry, former ministers, former PND secretaries, everybody was invited to come. But I know for sure that not everybody will have the time to come. But the people we have seen here today is enough for us to commemorate the occasion.
Let us not take it that there are issues, there is no division in the party. There is no division in the party, because we learned this morning that people were saying the founder, Flight Lieutenant Rawlings, will not be attending the ceremony, and he happened to be here earlier than everybody. It is a day on his heart, on the heart of many Ghanaians. Hence, we all came together to celebrate it. We have shown peace and unity. There is no division in the party. We all stand for nothing but unity, and we have seen the symbol. We expect every Ghanaian to come on board, and we pray for the Almighty to reign on the hearts of everybody so that Ghana will prosper.
It has become a big deal because of the posture taken by the Rawlingses against the government. If there had been anything of that nature, there wouldn't be any problem, because we have monitored, their position, where they speak, where they mount a platform, and each time there is some missile thrown in one form or the other. We fear. You see, we are very, very uncomfortable, as we have really indicated, that it is not impossible that at that particular rally, there will be, missile will be thrown at, the current government, which is not really coming from her, but they will link it that, okay, it was held at Upholding and with the permission of sons and daughters and the rest. So at least we are making our position very, very clear that we are disassociating ourselves from that. We can only, ask them that they do not use the platform to unleash attacks on people that are opposed to their views. That's all. But we will not actually attend. We, the Council of Elders, the chiefs, we have asked the people not, to attend. That is it. That is how we can ensure that we are disassociating ourselves from the celebration. Once you are recognizing that place as a World Bank, the very moment, actually, it is seen that the sons and daughters and whatnot are hailing you and whatnot, it will send a particular signal somewhere. Not just the celebration per se, but having it at Aplau Victoria Park.
I was for a mom watching Bioma Aquaba, Bioma Brass said in Pensim, Ebrel, baby, I want our hair and a pension, a man watching Edina session corner at the mouth. Mamma here or May Moha Niamanone, eat me and Namasi, Amy, said I'm penny for City Caja, as the Bienio, I bit me, dear mamma, ama, Acha Esa. And I'll pay Kaba Matnasi, any penny for a tons of Monatnase, na and some creme me, and I drink on an pay. Aeroplane the end of the ride home come my wow baby aquacusi. Na entokwa ya shase was 3 mantemu. Na ochitwe mu na ahinsem bi ekoso wa ma tututu obi koso ho ho asem no ye nkan nwie na dakwandori ne important ho so dia ba nra yedi nkomo no awa ote ne ekoso ho etututu se say be conflicting results. Binum se nipa num, binum se nipa na, binum se nipa baako, binum se nipa mienu. Obroni be say whatever it is, send ye tie bia no nipa bia hwe ne nkwa so asem no. Na be den na ye nuanu mo sire mu umbenya asumdwe. Da bia kakra bi na ntokwa ama ne homne so ho. De important ene ade a ekoso sa important mu ntia da bia ntokwa ekoso ho. Enkoma ebedie na no pay. Na heard the impact of the conflict or development and as mpuntu a amount for important one no here ho no ene ya semba kwa ebedwen ho ye tosumie no omampani dada Rawlings June 4 ejebo enya dwumedie no aba abesene ko applaudie no na nananum ahemfo ho bi so omompene memma so ho isan say ye de ba be a grounds for the launch of political contest eno aba abesene ko ama enra kane mampani Rawlings eko Jubilee House anim ho opposite and a friend Flagstaff House Emma one amount for June 4 ni tuma and so etwetwen komo ho en komo e course ho ansa na yetena se ne yebo bi kirew ebreso an ebesan bo bi a kirew na ebisa se ntikane mampani Rawlings se nsem a wakafa NDC ho ano no no anso na ekofa by the man NDC ni so ampa se obegina simpi so I campaign ma no anya NDC omedi nkunima na omedi nkuwo na omedi nkunima Rawlings ne dachi ewo NDC mu ebeye sen nkoma edi na no pay ni wadwinkyere ho behia papa 1760 ana Facebook or multi TV world ye ni ebeju ho ye papa ana obetimi send me email kaba@myjoyonline.com na yetimi atwa dwumedi so na no pay benifa aton sa frɛ mo ne wadi kan atena se ewura Jo Sewusu do na friend no Joe Wise independent member of parliament the mabe kwai obani na pay mo achi mo akwaba bibi aboko de de nyame ase ye hanim se enche bia no ora Ahmed Ibrahim Time emrahye bejani eba be kan sa na yetimi di dwumadi no e de ato aso sorry me de obekọ enkrahayara Revolution Square na yakwa akohwe ne ekoso enra ebra kane mampani Rawlings wokoso perpetual flame yes no flame no no so onso because near koso mem ha no hu a na ne raho na aden no mampendada Rawlings ne raho yenko Revolution Square ne ko ne koso nra ye ba osahene bo achija nso tutu bi wa tebubu nra nwumre no na enye small eno so mebo bi a kirew na no so wati bi wasum na ne koso no so watimi ahwe se behia bibi ya film so man Ghana yenko Revolution Square.
always symbolized what that period meant to us by also recognizing the departed ones with the laying of the wreath and the lighting of the flame. That's a reflection, symbolizes the life of probity, accountability, the truth, justice, freedom, dedication, accountability, patriotism, etc. But somehow, ladies and gentlemen, I must say that I had difficulties, or I have difficulties lighting that flame again. We cannot continue to allow this flame to become an illusion. The flame must reflect the reality of our lives. When integrity, when accountability from leadership, when respect for our people, when the empowerment of our people becomes the reality in our lives again, then I can understand and will appreciate the need to ignite the flame. But under the circumstances, I have difficulties doing so.
This morning's event is to really commemorate and lay wreaths on behalf of the departed souls, those who lost their lives as civilians, as security persons, as traditional persons, and that we have met here to recognize them as you always recognize the departed ones every year, and also to light the flame to indicate that the ideals of the revolution must be carried on. But you realize that the former president did something. He said he was at pain at lightening the flame, because the lightening of the flame is not an illusion. It's supposed to carry a meaning that the ideals will be carried on. But if the ideals are not being carried on, people may turn the lightening as just an illusion. And he used this occasion to send a message that yes, don't take the lightening of the flame as an illusion, take it as a serious matter. And that it means that the ideals that the June 4th came to instill in society must be carried on.
Enti so wan ko bi na wan tin ye call so ene ye de honkomodie nyina no e de abrɛw opening so usu ye makwa babiem na yemfa dwumadie no enhyase ni di nkan former president Rawlings June 4 enkomodie ni ade na ma me fa ba ko bi nkan wansa na mabro Rose usu se ansa na flow be ba so no na nananum ahemfu bi a omwo applaud kire se nya ade a ombepene ama sa ade no abaso na sabre no almost spokesperson kasamafo eba multi TV ha ene ye bedi nkomo ma me ko boy no enkawo na yiwi a yasen aba studio nkomodi e course so ebra na o mampenda da Rawlings ko aflaw Sunday na ebinum so o mpene me ma sesan so ba ho a de niam pii ne ba ho yen tie no wie ba afi nkomodi e de ahyehyɛ so.
It has become a big deal because of the posture taken by the Rawlingses against the government. If there had been anything of that nature, there wouldn't be any problem. Because we have monitored, their position, where they speak, where they mount a platform, and each time there is some missile thrown in one form or the other. We fear. You see, we are very, very uncomfortable, as we have really indicated, that it is not impossible that at that particular rally, there will be, missile will be thrown at, the current government, which is not really coming from her, but they will link it that, okay, it was held at Upholding and with the permission of sons and daughters and the rest. So at least we are making our position very, very clear that we are disassociating ourselves from that. We can only, ask them that they do not use the platform to unleash attack attacks on people that are opposed to their views. That's all. But we will not actually attend. We, the Council of Elders, the chiefs, we have asked the people, not, to attend. That is it. That is how we can ensure that we are disassociating ourselves from the celebration. Once you are recognizing that place as a World Bank, the very moment, actually, it is seen that the sons and daughters and whatnot are hailing you and whatnot, it will send a particular signal somewhere. Not just the celebration per se, but having it at Aplau Victoria Park.
Way was before. In fact, way was on Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, and San Comodi way course. Openi, also, okay, baby, Saudi shall say free. In fact, subsequently, Nanama Funubia almost signed Sacrate, Papa, no, do you understand? Abedina, I say, there was no consensus of the traditional area, but on my Funubia, on my personal view, and on the better bunting. But Rawlings MF, Nano Quesia Dokoy, and Rawko Revolution Square. We have baby a June for Chassis, free Baby Drew, na a nay, as a binumuti or more free home, because woman say, Openino, a dinner so the super abaya. Woman, you really justified looking at a near Mampenda Rawlings Aka, say a probity, accountability, social justice in Hong Kong.
Cover, they didn't come me, a tear for Unity.
One more Aquaba, so.
And Ganka, a conscience for. Oh, the crime person, so me in Archie. Cover the link I say a nipa and nay. Womu, I say, ye chin who free June 4th, probity and accountability, they went home. And dear Nama womu a tasa principles nachi. I didn't think any of muchum who free home. One who said, a safe day a year boy Nissunku, and Ujano so Nissunku. Nipa and nay. As the Rawlings and 1 Sani Panua na bra na Rawlings, or position, or no more power from PNDC Breswa, Besis Oba NDCA, Cosisena buying a baby 2000, end of 2000. Sani Paya nay. And then the own person just Rawlings on Kasei or attacking conform. Now attacking conform say ya de biao. Yes, a time we are no go gas conform say would the attempt now can cry no more. No more. Coca ze bulu ni one. On all these occasions. Sabreno. That's an conform munina or no almost support no. Obian tedda. Sasa penny fui any him fui. Almost sorry, Jinai, and now raise a finger, say, ye, a mind penning phone tea, or penino casa or casano, Ura Rawlings casa or casano, and fata or peniano, and nuntino, ebia, ye yana casache. Mribiano mutanachi. A bar bedu some peninku for film or training yara. Mribiara, Mampeno Rawlings, as some we are no waka. Probity and accountability. And my penny for na by omo ya krofo and omo wi agana and afede mokro ya sabre no wo ka bia no omo do hawo and my penny Rawlings there o kana dwene and my penny Rawlings there o kana dwene sa nene de den afede wo kana dwene asa de pakro ya se na dwene no a wo kan nti omo bezo obo mukrum me ngwango gramity openyi ya no wo kasai Cambrofo kama krachini kama na obezo ka se omu oba hoba ye program no a amanfo be ka se wo na ama ne kwan
no se aban be ka se
na aban wotumi se osi kwan omu ankasa ehimfo ne mpanimfo no omu wotumi se omu si kwan se woni tumi se osi kwan ya wontumi nkasa wa ma obi kwan. If you don't have the power to prevent, you cannot give permission. So, to me, no any ho Ghana ha be biara enye restricted area, and now will be private property. Ubia to me jina hoye de ope, can de ope, provided say fumumbra. And tis Penny Rawlings oko end June 4th. or flower park or koye also no a public place.
Well, master one can say so about Bejina Sassim Piano so. Now they are super buying a bra or more flower for a press a Bemo municipality no any development projects. And I really are not cautious on because I buy never can say some motor rolling such any development in the farm.
But I name one way. Because I baby abra so no rolling Jinabe biara. Esupo biara. O mo pene ko abra so. Rolling Jinabe biara anywhere in Ghana and Kraha Kumase Cape Coast Swedro. Sabre no man penny Rawlings we jina nchen. Sorry man penny ko for Mills. O jina Rawlings nchen till the very last day. O jina nchen printing oje a June 4th medals. And someone or can sabre no. I am on June 4th medals no. On all man penny Mills no. And yet to see be ni enoni enim de okem. And to say am passe. If they truly perceived and how much GDM passe, so man penny Dada Rawlings obey ni rally war a flow na a buying ebe me be ashiro more. Let's say buy no ne record in you ne suban bi a wada di nti ena ma mo nyina so sa saban we de so bi be gina okrom eye campaign ti aban no a woche oman no to me I dey share den sa no de chicho manager pade a o ma ya mpasa enti yem fa ne say so Rawlings han ko rally no ho na MPP egufaro ko rally ho a
so mbapini
and the omun sin kwan enti what entusiasm be ne o wahu sebe nipa onye enyini duru be bia na afro penin kyerɛ sɛ yɛde ebu efata sɛ wodwene hwɛ kan wo nimdeɛ wɔ akyire a ma ogina so kasa na yɛde afrɛw nti enidi efata na yɛde amaw nti megidi sɛ mpanimfo no nso ɔsɔ mo hwɛ sɛ nsɛm a mo ka ɛne ne ya mo da na de no ɛntwe yɛka bi mam ke bia mamu no nsan mpɛn bebree yana me wɔ haw kakra because yɛnia enam yabako semunti ye taide nipa a omu di dibre nipa ye to abayi no ye de ne toto ya hemfo ho enso enya de kro sabi nsamete we ya menenam gofo afie ne gofo mantwa kosresese ento abamame na eto abamame a na nipa no a wo mo bre me ho pigwa na ma frɛ me nana enya nana menye de hye so sa because suban a wo ye ho enam yabako so munti no a time nipa no a yato abamo omo no wo so de omo ho ekweti se
omo so
yo hene na sebe enya do eni de de man na nanom no a omo ya de hye no oso omo se de ma omo bi often ya na menti asesa nya sa na me hu no ye nde sebe eburu ye amanfo ko a wa na do ho akose so mi na nanom so de yesom wo mu enam bibi asi painti abakosem bi alazo na chechire ne man ana wono okonje wo man no nti ya hye na nimonyam o man ni nyina enyo no anke ni ho nti but ye politicians they entesa o man no ho dada ena nipa ye nkogire nipa anamu na ye de o man no tumi a hyenza nti tumi no e wo se de mbrama kwan se de ye na ye de ye timre bia no sensem se de call so wa aflawo ansana June 4th ade ne ba no limit ye ye democracy no
but o ma pende da Rawlings emfi emwo koe amafo epukohwe dwumadie na no kosiada na nipa ne doso ye papa o hwe nsem o de tu dwa o sa dwumadie na ase sesise no de aban no okodich ye nyina ye ka decha ye nyina ti ase Ghana sese enyaku agikunkunu agikunkunu awie ensem o ka fa ban no ho ebisi sabre no o ye justified sa
kawa asembe no ka no ho Ghana for ye nkan mite ohwe me ready speech no den no ka no ho a wo panelist wa ha emeka bi da it's not new maybe the non-conform any now say or no or yeah party ni
and no near some amount for be some
sir or no yeah party ni ura or beba begina hono so aka asem a obi anim asem o kan say woyomi say aban na trama woyomi abu o man no sa atam o man sika pudo di ama no e kire say aban no omo ye incompetent omo ni nimdia edibu o man omo eni o ma enkoyi asem we ya man yo for the bia yenga it's not new.
But so boy Mampenda Rawlings any MPP any mo aya mo bo aban so bo no if I never hear any people say asem criminal or your friend is saying prosecution and sha say e dey na say aban no ye fa ho a wonye ya enti o Mampenda Rawlings dey bo aban so boy
e dey na aban na ya fa ho
say wo court
dey din kai o Mampani asem we buy na am ye hu say nsem o ka kire fa nya no kure Onoa obeka say asem si ekura no wa bruchiri onye so criminally minded so be ma edisika kese say ama woyomi na no onim ho hwe anche na onoa ne commission yoko for the report by kire say samze no ma bona mane that ayini or ekoso no o say onu kura ka asem ye ntues ka ne ma no mprenu ma ne tua na just na onim ansana onoa ne former minister for justice so they are better so say ansa na obeka sa asem no kra no na wa ma krata written ne nsa no krata kyerɛw nipa wo mu wo mefa wo mu nyina but kaba enye wo yo mi ayed ne kokod no ne hia o e ba ne san na ban oman penimfo a ye de oman tumi ahye wo nsa motena ho ene papa yi eye kululu me asem yi wa ho papa ne a ne din da so but enye wono ne sebe kromfo no
na kromfo ne hwan
kromfo ne ni nipa ehwa ban sika so a wo mo ma ne kwan
Cobrado for
waka ho former attorney general Betty so ho ene a lawyer for a wo mo aban adwuma mu a wo mo tworo nkrata ekeka bo mu edisi ani ma kwan si entuaneka wo mo na bo man ne kro no ono broni vega conspiracy wo mo ya adwenkro so yankeka ne o mansi
o lawyer me ba na ma be bisa sa conspiracy na say na o Mampenda that run is small they can but here ka so ura Ahmed Ibrahim abeka ansa obani emu akwa bibi aboko de yo ansa na be ba no ura Kofi Adams kasama for the mark and Mampenda Rawlings e wa homa no so ye ni nkomo ne bisa ne say okay now June 4 is over hihye ne ade te sen na dwumadi no se ne amafo eye hu ni ade no se na ene ekọ efa opani Kofi Adams na no pay multi TV bedwam ye mo achi mo akwa ba
yeah me ya me chia o na me chia fa ne ahwefo
yo ye da se na no pay ansa na June 4 bedu so na no kwasi ada na ye no wadi hu komodada ye nuanom ya mo aplawo ahemfo no binum echire wo be kan se ugidi saban na sponsor o manase etechire mom yes ade no ne edi kan yemisa aflawo nipa e baaye no na expect na wo kohwe na no kwasi ada na wo baaye no muhu sana mudi mani buye sa na nipa ne baaye
Benya in the recent history menhu such a political gathering ho but ba ansana mekoso aka asemi say we interview penibia wo friend no deku
you
na sada na wo ye na interview na me betina hobby ma kaden ka wish there or a television to see how the man was struggling, an elderly man, to speak, because you could find from the face there written clearly as someone no can and you know the pen or the car because as someone no crabia in himself osimuka there traditional council share on the 30th what we should no do but since you are na ba out today na enye no kre assembly ntisa oye ohenekro sa divisional chief no and all sign is akata no na ono so ka according to ohene no also the pressure was so much and it was so urgent that when to my consult ahimfo na omo aka no and the pressure no if he pressure no if he fa ahimfo na want to my consult one na aflawo for na omo ye ready and waiting for the anniversary no wo ho na if he fa it tells you that na pressure no if we baby are more than just a flower for no. So it gives meaning to everything I prior to that event. No? But yenda yamiase, the Saturday before the Sunday, no, I him for no mark on when in Guasia or hini and Kofa was support in the position where Abeno what they bread a flower minor or Mushia, my own issue statement against near or hinin and one or two other persons or Muye. So or no, ya settle or no, ye or no free because I am for no baby now mobile rally no cra naso to add value to it.
Now, Kofi Nra so no BBSC or Revolution Square. Ebansa no mapenda da Rawlings ejaya or tashe perpetual flame no also wonso biemu.
Say okay after that. Now okay bibi that ye ko ho a jume bi like yedi. Iwu yim Bible free man. Ye be lay reefs. Now who lay reef because ebinum maybe omo yamidi through the process of the revolution, the uprising was that time, and he would lay reef in their honor. Who you honor so a jana yes son one who yeno omu because of something to represent some values, to represent some principles, and we are carrying on with those values, with those principles. But I don't know, you done like an illusion. Maybe I am na ya akoye ya so ejanu if you want na go for ye niama emfata especially now our party now wa benum or a party ne antecedents ne June 4th and 31st December, and they are even more obligated to do what is good, to uphold those values and principles. But and this and you could now there also ejana or also for what? But as part of the consultation now, to give hope to the younger generation like me and you, Kaba, and also for the fact that in Pennyphobia still some values no hold no so high and dear and or Jitumuma or Koso Ejam. Maybe I'm Kama Sama. Christo, what no Christmas, no, you celebrate. Abra will crucify no during the Easter no, so we mark it. The resurrection no, we go into joy. So we mark these three occasions: the birth, the crucifixion, and the resurrection. Now we are between those days no, Christo dinama. We cannot be called good Christians. And Kamusum, you honor the birth of the Prophet Muhammad, but then if you have the means, we like the fasting, the this, the that, no, 1 year in between those times, you don't qualify to go into heaven. So very important that my mark the crucifixion of Christ and his resurrection, and then you hold up the other values. The very important values are Oche, Abrabonum.
Kofi Enra me mama ho na mum reporters ba ho and curiously missing our Revolution Square na government officials na man for hear nim so mbeba o mapenda da Rawlings so no hu ni sa asem no say abam mpanifo ama no ana ma to nsan frɛ wo mo.
Oh bilia da obade bia we have never invited abam mpanifo for any of the functions since assuming power, but they come because that no a part and parcel of our calendar. All we do is to put a planning committee to plan activities now announce publicly. And for this year's one crown, no who ban my discussions so every government official will be in the known because of publicity this year's event. We cannot be sending invitations to the over 1,000 persons or more. All you do is to come around and join on that occasion. So that is their own cup of tea. Sorry, into my false with there say Christmas would do Easter bra sorry. when I win him there, oh, me quite sorry waha, and I be Christian and to make you sorry biako, and I'm a member of this branch of this church, and they say, oh, do Christmas, oh, yeah, sorry, or there, Moko, and you're sorry, and pay for no, on the baby fraud there, bra, sorry, no.
Kofi, former President Rawlings, is he disappointed, say, up to now, Babam Penny for my program?
Not just coming into the program. The most important thing is living the values and the ideals. What do you mean living the values and the ideals? My program now, that is even okay. There will be representation. Now, and I was happy with the representation across board. Info by ordinary people came, people of stature in society, former government officials, by the founder of the party was there, Nana Kudedu was there, PVOs, cadets, some members of the AFRC, who is now no more young persons, and it was good. The rally earlier was very successful, was great.
Kofi, Enra Alhaj the Wokrata the assembly by. Now, assembly in Anna said former President Rawlings in Nana Kudedu, decided say free ne kononya dia criticize abani BM and they will patch up with the administration afi omotimia boama campaign 2012 etimia konkan. In fact, subsequent to Enrano, another publication or Alhaj the Worker Tama Alhaj Watrina editor say Mamenka just first paragraph and say following media reports that Jerry John Rawlings and his wife Nana Kunedu have finally had a positive change of heart and are determined to mend their differences with President John Atta Mills and his administration. The government says the move is very welcoming news. NDC founder Jerry Rawlings and his wife Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings were reported by the Alhaj to be amenable to a resolution of their long-standing dispute with President Rawlings, with President Mills and the government and the party. Kofi, former President Rawlings, any of my penny Mills, I recent meetings as I say, or more imagine say, Mon Koma Symbium, Mobile patch up to win campaign 2012.
Many former President Rawlings, Memendana, Ubedu, or Mainim. Ubedu, Memendana, the next day equation I call Rally Noah Flower, and Anra. And the minim, baby, I'm meeting you, Koswana, Alajibature, Waho. But then, Oman Penina Rawlings, from the formation of this government, Onka Sembia Oye Boni. Assembly or Becano, Assembly Shiko. Ebi wa o sheda na maybe onboarding. Na edin ebi no mobebo. Dem asese ayekoso a utie eyi wo ha na edin ya drop na pepe ya drop na mati na mido ya drop. Ono obeka asem no aspin a orutufu. So that mobeye nyawo de moya na mo correct system. Right from the beginning, he will not stop until he realizes that the values have been instilled in the system. And this will be because he is going to stop raising concerns because he is going to continue to raise concerns. Now, concerns now, it is for those who are in charge to listen. So, no, there might be more can also use public platform. And within the first 3 months of the government, and also I see they all criticize. Within the first 3 months of the government, President Rawlings and organizing any public function. Or your party in penny for no muko nifi. That's a party in penny for cohort, that's a will be small girl media into, and I will be recording in some or the command media for more twisty. I don't know. Why do you blame former President Rawlings or no office? Because it was a party person that he was interacting with. Okay, when they look, transition now, Yasha, Yami Hunu, and Yada Oberboy, Yanyahu Bibia, say, na Yadebekwa, and Blenubeko without us doing anything. In some baby, none we are answering Yabeko Soyani, a national executive meeting. Before then, na Omama Yana Rulina, Tamaleho, Brante be a demonstration. Masra for shooting one person to death. You will meeting, nothing was said about such incident. Omar President Rawlings, upset about why we will have such a high-level meeting without mentioning this matter. So he picked the mic and spoke and said, "Yes, sir. Internal matters. Feel free. People should put away titles and talk about it. If we meet in Hope, now will be a friend, the names and that there were exchanges at the meeting. Also, less than 30 minutes, now similar that radio station. So who sent that matter to the public? What they call here, then they find a way of coming to put the blame on President Rawlings. Abra Spugabra, Chogo letter, this all kind of team A, team B. They turned round, and found comfort in putting it on President Rawlings. That's okay. So they find an easy person to put all those issues. Many persons are raising instead of confronting some issues, so that the Butuma deal with it once and for all. We always find convenience way. Say chairman, it's letter. No, Marka, chairman, problem not chairman region has been solved. Your friend, they've assured him. And events following will tell you that no, that is not the case.
Kofi, Enra, or Sahene Boachijan, and so ye need your tebubu. What in some of the two Jano?
Oh, and some more, you go to Jan in the main tea, but then, papers be the many snipers, the man, and a pay more feminine or being so feminine or more car be chain. So, we
Kofi, wait there 1 minute, Mammy Monetier, nothing mean to your comment, and I'm any union.
Founder Jerry John Rawlings, in a characteristic, passionate manner at the 33rd anniversary of the June 4th Uprising at Flower in the Volta region, said the NDC has run itself into a ditch. He says the party cannot beat their MPP opponents in the upcoming elections, having abandoned the ideals of June 4th. Major Boachijan tells Love News Mr. Rawlings and his wife got it all wrong in their criticism of President Mills. The retired military officer, who is also the NDC parliamentary candidate for the German South constituency, says the former president's endorsement of Nana Akufo-Addo over President Mills clearly defeats his own values as a social democrat.
But for me, he will not be alive today. Without me, there will be no June 4th to talk about. There's a hell of difference between celebrating and commemorating an event. Let me declare here and now, come 2012, NDC is going to win this election with a landslide. NDC is a social democratic party which believes in the popular welfare of the people, especially the lower majority of our people who are so hard pressed in this country. And they are the ones who are our legitimate concerns, and they are the ones who are going to deliver power to us. And not those who believe essentially on private welfare for the few of us. And because they know it's not a winning formula, they have started stealing our core value. Oh yes, conservatives don't talk about free education, they talk about private education. Conservatives don't talk about popular welfare, they talk about private welfare for the few.
Major Boachijan is confident despite the seeming differences within the NDC, the party is strongly united to retain power in the upcoming election.
Elton John Broby, a reporter with Love FM. Kofi, Mpacho, asema osahine can you?
Yeah, meeting first and foremost, Eba said no man pena that Rawlings sky. Also, his wish was for the NDC to win. Ubi any wish in there, never be ye or assassin. Now we're sending ya heaven to enjoy. But so them are kind of say if wishes were hustles, beggars will write. So Wuba and Ubi cultural here. Your wish is that Wuba no be the first. But say Wuba no shiada. It doesn't mean that you will not tell Wuba no say in shiade the way I will they be our there who found books na ko shiade when nam disco when nam ha when shiada who opponent no obebi tuwa. It doesn't mean that you are endorsing your opponent. You are only admonishing Wuba no there. Ni ano no we no enyaza obebuano. But in any case, President Rawlings can be there. Or see, and now we be concerned about the president saying that what is wrong with Akufo-Addo also becoming president. Is he not a Ghanaian? So he was rather worried that the leader of the party, the flag bearer, instead of working hard there, he's kind of throwing in the towel that early, that no opponent to those who win assembly and all. That was what he was saying. That this is what he was told. And yet, this is what he was told the president had said. And another can want some more platform. But he went on to say that it's difficult to win without upholding the values of June 4th. You can't go to heaven if you don't uphold the values of Christianity, or you can't go to heaven if you don't uphold the values of Islamic belief. If you are a Muslim, you can't. Other way or no. As for what is done, this is party no crowns and some other because a corner of our big party no. Our culture no. What's the party no for 2 years no. Me, I still challenge it, and I know that he came in through the window and met people, entered the chamber, came out and met people in the hall and claiming that he has been in there. He didn't come through the proper way. 2008, Abra ye vetting. Yenyankofa, omukita party cards. Party cards no mo omude omuetua news in 2005, in 2006. Meaning I win him currency omuditua news na Ghana cities. So unkofo to menya cards were crime bebre so. I know if Bwatijan, the day Bwatijan will approach a branch that I want to become a member of NDC, Sadana Kombebo Conscience Amania, Conscience Obebo Region Amania, the region would have informed us. And that I'm not saying that Bwatijan, NDC member, I'm say region for Bisson, was on one said that the regional secretary was unaware. And this regional secretary, Onye and regional secretary, he has been a regional secretary for a very long time.
Kofi, Anope, Badwam, Yedasi, Papa.
That's it.
Ora Kofi Adams spokesperson to former President Rawlings. Open yen na fi minko ora medicine na ensem na abanidos.
Me ensem na didn't kana meka wo yo me asema o mampani dada Rawlings ko kan. Se ya we se wa se wo yo me yokromfobia number bi na wafa chisel ne hama no kotwa aban save no yiska dabi anya sa aban sika edada enipa ehwa aban sika so ena eye kuntuna se ne no esensan krata se aban de neka engotua neka omra wono ananum tozo anya adwuma bi ama aban so enti ununu kankan no ununu kura na ununu kankan nipa wamu adwuma sombo ma ne sika ho ban no wamu ena anya omu adwuma ena omu de oman no sika sem atoto basa eno nti na ban ena ebo no sobo efize se nipa ne nyina mampene me se fa omu adwuma na wa wo se wonim ho hwe afede wo committees wo kura ka se mo omu ntua ena omu amfiwu ena omu gotua ye omu so abesi ne anya omu hwe dofo oda hote abem Betty ayemu akote baby your friend wo public accounts committee a na lawyer aba kasa afede nsem no akese kura na edi ekira eba usemunim ho hwe CP aban ese man pereso man makwa so ntua and yet they went ahead and paid. So what kind of governance system we have? But what you can say ne speech mu say NDC may win a landslide na omo ye social democrats na ye conservative for ye we omo values minimum value kura woka
ye dwon fofo
Debbie. What is talking about the programs? We are talking about free education. That's what is that.
Anyway,
free education. But hey, area say, Osikeni. And we're doing here.
Me and Comrade say, oh, email our fabric or cover at myjoyonline.com 1760. Ora Medimahim. Me can say now to me, you know, I better not see you. Na yes, me how common need Sabreno. And no, I very, very passionate. Yeah, na you need baby and not same way we do. And somewhat now say be our mampenda that roll is one can. Is it when you come?
I can be on Cabanyan.
Sir, I can't.
Send the lawyer no more you know.
Say on what in the party.
Now over there,
what's the party?
What party they are not the way at them.
You may fire quenches in a maturity for him say, me free time. And no pay and be drear. Now, me call me qua provoca cra. This is a topic where a major issue on the ground.
All time.
Exactly.
Okay. Boy, more money, almost the same.
And I'm not necessarily only can alone. Because time, because Sunyani. because when it is by and large, we call grassroots now. People are discussing it. And the topic as a party, we must find a strategy of handling it. So of course, why I can't send a year can some of us are not happy about it.
Sena, what can I say?
Yeah, Kaba. Nrana regional minister office. Sunyani. It may free or I'm also the public Sunya. But I mean, say Bachi Jan, they no more quack. It me but me okay more me banana and I mean except of it. But me this say as a partner, when certain issues are coming, you don't go to a battle with everybody's strategy. There must be a unanimous strategy. Say in a corner. Now here, my job Bachi Jan. It's a June for free. Me yes sure say we divide ana on community bida. So how come said there will be a counter June 4th? Some of us are, but to be honest with you, I'm not happy with Bachi Jan celebrating a June 4th because we see what by NDC. NDC is also a democratic party. June 4th is so, and dia NDC as a party, public official be a echo. And this is a role is the June 4th, and Bachi Jan age June 4th no one. Na say ye numna ye democrats na your party numna ye kwa proboni na you don't know either where do you find yourselves. It's a very difficult scenario for some of us. Inti efutu na me de bema ye party no na me pese ye nyina ye ko kan Jeremiah 8 verse 4 to 6.
Then oh
Before Jeremiah can assemble. Isi kwana ye pese ye faso no nya dia kaba ebeboaye. Democrats na ye kona bana ye kwa kotu. The concentration is no more on MPP. By a concentration no too much NDC against Rawlings, Rawlings against NDC. Like Rawlings declares he is fighting traitors no. So more or less M say he's fighting NDC after which he will come and fight MPP. But will MPP not get that momentum so that when you cannot fight them? These are some of the questions Rawlings will answer himself. Yenso as NDC, Rawlings' picture is not going to be on the ballot box. Rawlings on yana. Ojina park kura na ball on any ho. Na se wo bomb match na ope go ahye na obi a player ojina na be a ball no na okota na. Can you score a goal? These are questions we should ask ourselves. In that make us a Jeremiah chapter 8 verse 4 to 6. We are treading in a very dangerous path. And I was saying to your home. Ukwa, baby, that was the first question I was asked. Na, honorable, Oman Penini Mills say, me moon should be income. When I'm was through. Nakaba, I'm here. That's the way.
You know, now with me.
Inti a bia and a parliament a Juma.
Also Jeremiah.
Jeremiah 8.
Verse
46.
Okay, but what to us, Mary Grandma.
Inti Usha, me Ahmed met me up of President Bill said President, President Rawlings, former President Rawlings said, may Babi system. I cannot do it. But he who is responsible must find a way of bringing them together. By Kaba, it is getting too late. There were just about 208 days for the year to end. Barely less than 180 days to election. 6 months to or 5 months to elections. Now these issues are pending. Nanadwa on a major contender contestant no. Say you can want it. Projects are on my penny mills at me within these 3.5 years. You quite can want them. Sa June 4 far metro Bachi Jan ko ye meaning this NDC for anko NDC for beko KDS no beko ena anya publicity so projects are yatimia in those areas biamem. The major issue today, even 3 key issues are Bachi Jan di tu bia krampo no bakuno I overshadow me no because he talk about unity. Or say ye nyina ye baako obeda samwa mre biduru na ye ni nya adwene okoye wasaba me Bachi Jan mre biduru na me ni mu nya adwene me koye masaba
on dey say no nka ho that
entinda say Rawlings ni ya nya adwene kwambia so Rawlings be then obesaba. These were some of the issues he spoke about. But what to say, Yakano? The major and thorny issue now is Wajijan claiming
ownership
of probity and accountability.
So Rawlings owes his life to him.
Now, probity and accountability, Kaba, do we profess it? Do we claim it? Do we say it? They are actions and characters people can see in you. So we mean to us a mechanical cry. You mean I'm about to as a mechanical cry. But as someone make a routine now, bet me as someone I made and no cry and no cry. Senipa nam na no efa nyo na be wa ka me ho efe wow hu na no efa you know inti enya I don't know why we should be fighting over probity and accountability. By our actions people should see probity and accountability in us.
Rawlings so
even Rawlings man not see it in Bwachijam man not see it in Rawlings.
Rawlings so who no President Mills.
Clearly speaking, by people see it in President Mills, that's why they voted him into power. And everybody has a way of looking at things, perceptions. And
a cheap program.
Me buy na loyalty oko me come make Abraham say and then mo program no. Because ko kan no kra na.
You be kan no kra. It's kan no kra. It's obviously you are not happy the way your party, mo say na mo party no so nyema. Money nye ho.
Democracy is not meritocracy. Ye koto aba Instead of the pandemic to be called now for strategy now we win papa no win the only papa na be win. That's democracy. And your meritocracy. Ka professors na be kwa form na yaka say judges have got lawyers no got parliament amun shemra. Wo mbra na ye kwa akose. Ba ukwa wa obi a driver or obi a computer or obi a businessman or everybody is fairly represented. Inti enya dia ese adia mukwa koto abana mama bi se koso kasakasa wo ho na mpanyifo entimi siesie we ko gina na wato amane we ko gina na wato amane we na nipa otumane ya ye ni tumane ya won kaba ono oma wade ni 8 years democratically oko ono ni din ni picture emba balo boss no biom o waba uno wa ban mu school so ayesisi university ayesisi we nyina na wo se kaba ye betra ye preach na manfo ho se president mes ebo aduma na say ya jai no ya jai and say probity and accountability no go fight probity and accountability say me na probity and accountability me kaba I'm not happy but I believe say paying for no kwan bia so ne emi ya pa na Rawlings aka ewo e kan no aflaw or say June 4th no and take place indoors. It take place openly. Into no be too far or be too for openly.
Because so can indoors mamumbu no.
That is not in the me man who no.
Oh, okay.
That is why I was worried. I say oh no indoors biom or be advice no openly. Kaba eno so MY. Mesere. Ne kwana ye nam so no. NDC ye be say ye ho na Rawlings is so asay no ho. So as in home in all ye nyina ye say ye ho kwana ye nam so no. That is it. Ono two man ye na ya to amane no. A house divided against itself kaba cannot stand. By near deceive ye ni say because obed no ti omo e na ye win ye. In some school of thought in NDC you say oh ye the half party are winning that. In the bet with the half party ahead then akọ wini
and na some can ba because akọ say no empanifo ni bia adwen ni say so Rawlings won kan kra mo wetimi adinkunim oni on ya adwen sa
so Rawlings in kan na NDC betimi adinkuni a na say Rawlings kan ho a ye bedi nkuni landslide why don't we include him na ya winning landslide why jai obi wa bonten oso kwa akoye campaign you do the campaign indoors do the campaign outside into na mana we na masana say campaign and now Rawlings is so or not say it is my wish say NDC winning. And your wish if wishes were horses beggars will ride. And your wish there and was also to one more. Come on, party dia ba. And ya make party dia one mensa. Na ya na uka no crane be bra na was wasa konya problem. These are the issues. Many pejle be parliament. Me ko ya na me ko ni chen. Wasi me kasa na me party tie yanka yan lusu. Oh, MPP ni o. Osimra na MPP wa ba no okasa. Oka ni party for say oh. Okasa do yes. Osimi mbra na mi kasa no. Say me party for no tie ya. Kan den ka yenti ba bia yeti. This is the time that we should learn lessons from what happened in MPP.
But you hold your fire, Kakra. Ma yankwa dance asukwa. Yati se nkwanhia bi esi wo sisi ama. You turn bass be Reverend Akwaba.
Major Sumia.
Edi asem na esi na no pay.
Kojo no problem me kasa wie ya me pia ajame ko formula djuma me gina pa na test bi betwam. Na America no de de no me be o yes wo wo so am again sason ko di foforo ba ya me nyafo ye kodu na che di nanim aka bia ni ete hu ya se photos bi o doji photos ni tombas bi alo du free be kwai e be snap abakra. Adia ko boma ma me no ka se de che taxi no phone no mo condition e ba abako de wawu ai tomba so akọ chef for amra ni mo no ma nyame adom mo de mo be be aka na question is very dangerous but that is totally condemn at this man to program
Enti you turn passengers wo muni de nyame adom obi a ho anka
obi a ho anka na driver no problem is here na police wa ba omo ebisebusa na December kwa na me no bi but omo passengers ne do mo nyina rush call settle
but ebi no me prepare
oh me hu papa panimu akopro na ni tiri ho aye moja ma onkra no hu se wa pra ndimi kra me chense onkofu kan bi no so bi hwia nya na me so ni tiri mu ba moja ese ma ono so kofu bi
na taxi no osi ni percent ne ewum na ba ko awu na ba ko awu
but see across information kra ba se ba ko kra ba ko e twitwa ye yi na si a me sre na abu afa ho aje wa tete kra ba information mo de ba si as on crimes wa talk
well Reverend Anope yebedo as
masa miraho
yebedo as na dey sia na Reverend Oko okay yebehwe say yes abeka penifo prosifo ni penifo na ya he draw for nso tuto yesem ya montombo mika tente no so no odin dodo ya munya butire o akra nkwa na mode nam opani enti wie ho no mame na
mame mo
busia mo mahwe yakọ
mo amaye nse mo yakọ na kaba ne na make an tia wan ni say maye nye ya dwen say oh we are empowered so we can by all means win so obi ka kire MPP for so mbe lusu anko munyini so ya win awie campaign na anko mbe they were doing celebration victory celebration na ya nyanto abano kaba tell you that is when you are being deceived when you are in power. Inti yesize na yesu ye wa kunwanu yati yeti so. Oti so a one there is sympathy votes a unya bio. Inti see if at this time now Rawlings here na yentimi enye very silent man nye ni dede a. We know that is how he is. Sana Rawlings on kana nuntum da. Even say asem we krampo na on kana nuntum. He want to be heard. Or see be heard. You must be heard. We are MP now to own kata manipante. Asem because na nja ka mensro bia. No catch up some man in Srobia on Casano. Duty so be kana no atum. Kabati will never do it. Me nini nantinche, but I know say on kana nuntum da. He will never keep quiet. In the say was saying na papa wait here. Na ya so ndiye ye no ye broadcasting man na man 40 said we aduma power na tamal side them aye but say concentration on Rawlings no ya overshadow the goodies of President Rose na ye ko ni say ya akaba ebe boy obed ko but Obed's followers man not be the same as Rawlings followers ukwa and Rawlings should also know say Bebrewa and this no mupo. That is why I'm worried because who call now be me call group bakubi. Almost you. He said Rawlings kura oyama ni hwan ye they said it. Group baku yes, they said it.
When is it for?
Also person ye lusu, they said it. Internet no so ehame.
Na so Rawlings the waka say someone lusu a ontimi take over his party again. Waka 31st December or anniversary.
Let me tell you, near MPP for 3.5 years here, I'll go through. Omoba Konya Iswa, me former MP. okofre ne organizer bi o se de mutumifo a metie muka bibia mefa oni oko ekura bia si o e no ni ne party supporter so but supporters na dwan MPP for na nka so e dwan se ona mo mu lusu na ne suban de nti oko no no bi na no ka che se de masakra mutumifo a mefa muka bibia betie 3.5 years pay in opposition. What's your answer? Say what you buy more. Even say who nya hwe krampo na ya say na who kasa against somebody you think say or no benefit. Na say who ba opposition. Hono be say say ba bia na me wo no kaba. Eye. Nti Rawlings should not think say MPP ba after fighting the traitors he can fight the enemies. He can't. This time na bia mana ye opposition 8 years. 4 years. Wakwa no nim say me chat 4 we no matter chat 4. Na ya stand man akọ opposition. Akọ listening talk. Akọ all hands on deck. Akọ restoring hope. To nyina wakobi. Na akwa we e betrafia. Come on. Why shall on track? Even if he become president, he will be party organizer.
Nanado.
I'm telling you.
Nanado.
Ndiye ya training. Kaba. Let us not deceive ourselves. That's why I say we should go and read that thing. Say a person, ye ba aban mu pa na. Everybody should rise up. This issue go round. More beyond this not the time say ultra office there that say me we know. Eye democracy. Enye test na ukoye na ya mark o.
This be quite this is you MPP for na here Rawlings draw. Do no nko.
Enye draw. Kaba. Obi ka to say eye draw am ka enye draw. Eye unyuma pa. Yeah, project bear for some communities. Me call her, or any say on Nabo, near my year, I mean, who she. It's not them. Or say, Moye and mobile frame, my local commission. Would the contractors know by move frame? I feel on Nabo, Mina. On one himself, project the idea. Yeah. But for the fact to say, this is Uncle Freno, I'm on commissioning. This is Uncle Freno, I'm on or say, oh, who she. Wow. Inti mradru say NDC, MPs and DCs. Ye na ye sorry. Na ye jam Rawlings and penny funny Rawlings can. Then we should go round. Yen entisa na ye tio ye be wini. MPP for so abba by muda 8 good years. They know why they lost. They've gone round. Omuko ba they are revising their notes. Omu ye correction. Why will be a correction a leader? Correction. Uye kura ye marking 1-1. And you like to be not teaching the say what's it scene? Kaba, me seriously speaking, we should wake up. The air cost of grounds different from what is happening in Accra. People are worried about the seeming division, and therefore we must make sure that when be a befaswa, we must concentrate too much on what we are doing than concentrating on Rawlings. And Bwatija should, I advise that this should be his last June 4th. Or celebrity bida. Manning celebrity or your MP, presidential candidate, parliamentary candidate for German South. Yeah. And why your opposition stronghold? And this is the time say you keep quiet and do your house to house. Or not for anybody now or parliament. When you come to parliament, and when you speak, people hear. Now, why upa ba no nyama we ya we na afen opposition minyan mu nyina eko gather asinas. Eko German South. Yebe Batija aluso. Rawlings near this year yaluso. What will be our fate?
What will be our fate? Yeah, to Media so live on Jeremiah 8:4-6. You shall say unto them, that says the Lord, do men fall and not get up again? Does one turn away and not repent? Why then has this people, Jerusalem, turned away in continual apostasy? They hold fast to deceit. They refuse to return. I have listened and heard. They have spoken what is not right. No man repented of his wickedness, saying, what have I done? Everyone turned to his course, like a horse charging into the battle. Jeremiah 4:8-4 to 6.
They hold on to the seat. They have spoken
anyway,
what is not
messages
right.
about our email. Yefa and Twaso or say.
I'm glad you reminded me.
Amos Amo writes or say Upper East, Upper West, and Northern regions beware of Prosper Mills. Ashanti, Western Central, come not near John Mahama. Eastern, Brown Greater Accra regions have vigilante eyes on the Sierra Ketia and Dr. Kwabineji. Voter region, trust not in the executives and the administration of the NDC. There is but one mind in all of them, and is bent against the development of Ghana. The NDC administration can only be likened to the slave trade, which did not confer benefit of any kind on Ghana. On the contrary, the NDC has brought about an unmitigated misery and like a crime unredeemed by one extenuating circumstances. If we vote for the NDC, the developmental fate of Ghanaians will contrive with these traitors. Vote for Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Amos Amo, Himan Prestia, and Odebai. One from Paul Techi, Proverbs, in the scriptures. Proverbs 17, 1, 7 to 13. Wherever rewards evil for good, evil will not depart from his house. Former President Rawlings must know. Period. Kwame Asante Edifi Israel at the Ebraying. From Kaba, did Papa J uphold the core values when he was president? They should give us a break. And on Edibai. One from Nyako Enes Kaba. It's honorable say who's an MPP member or an independent candidate for his constituency. So who will he support when he become an MP? Again, Nanado also becomes a president. Honorable, think twice. God bless Nanado. From Abdul Aziz, watching us all the way in London. I'll say the MPP promised in their 2004 manifesto that they are going to provide jobs for all Ghanaians willing to work. If them metamorphosed into a bungalow for all MPP apparatchiks willing to acquire one, they also promised 1 laptop per child, which also became 1 land per minister. Even under President Kufuor, just envisage what happened under Nanado. Ghanaians, shine your eyes and reject the MPP and Nana Akufo-Addo for the safety of our resources under the leadership of President Mills. Abdul Aziz writing from London. And the Ebai. Another one from Abdul Aziz. Kaba, I couldn't stop laughing when I heard Kwabineji trying very hard to justify the dismissal of Odariokan. He alluded to the fact that MPP failed to reinstate Mr. Odariokan because he refused to be transferred to a different department. Kaba, per Kwabineji upon submission, can I advise President Mills and the NDC to offer a bungalow at Bongo in the Upper East region, where I come from, to Jake Obeche Bilamte at the same price of $400,000. Aziz, watching us in London and on Edibai. Before you could say Facebook, Multi TV World, kabatmajoonline.com and AFE 1760. But before you move on to I hear so many tokwa koso ewo shemantem. Last week some be brain no koso I hear some money ade to ni ade enra ebisi ne etu tutu eguso ekoso e na kwandori ema nam so conflicting enema eba ebinim say nipa 9 na ebinim say nipa baako ebi say emienu whatever it is senya tie bia no nipa bia hwere no nkwa say ne ebekọ na yenim say aban hodo aba ebon ho modern say bridging the gap say e kan da form ha na esrem no nkebe ba sada ne ade aba so still ntokwa guso ekoso esrem Obani Ahmed, saa nneɛma yi yɛbɛyɛ ne dɛn because ɛno na ɛma ebinom a wɔase ha no bisa sɛ ɛne ɛsɛm wɔ no koraa no adɛn na ɛkɔ so a na yɛyɛ mpuntudwuma wɔ because ɛnyɛ de a wɔn de ntɔkwa ba abɛsɛɛ no wɔn yɛ justified so wɔn bɛka sa.
Aban yɛsremfoɔ na ɛpɛ ntɔkwa wɔ. Look at the timing. So we are heading towards election. The politicians no say was say yɛ to yɛ ho fo.
Or political undertones wɔ ho.
MPP, NDC, CPP. Say per Omani year, there must be national orientation to draw a big line between politics and chieftaincy. Me can say me call baby na meba. Me call him in some na esi na. And because of the training, I say don't get the demand me from day one of the meba politics. I say these two things can end up end your political career. Politics and chieftaincy met together. One, ebema basa beba. Two, politician no we ship. Se uko wa ya na ye can say as if omo no omo so violent. Into omo na omo kunu nyina omo nyana be dia konwa no. Kaba da bi why you go through and see. Ubon say as a nation we've not been able to draw a clear distinction between chieftaincy, institution, and politics. And those and now we are the framers of our constitution. Is the Article 267 or 77? There is an outright moratorium on chieftaincy in chiefs in active.
So active
exactly.
Politics.
That is the wisdom in it because Ebanesa beyond beside say ahimfonombe lusu reputation no. Ebetimi ama chieftaincy institution so ebetimi batapasa aba. We meaning the details of it. But ushe ndiye SC ewo na kwanduri de na the miti ya ni say a land dispute.
Asase huntokwa.
Land dispute about what? About power. Inti eno metimi aka say mistrust and stereotyping. Ene de no buy. Because kwama phone yesi kwama phone bimoba phone eko. We no munim say we nim ti say we nso nim say we nim ti say. Inti eba ni sa no mo konya panyine bi na ota ekyiripe. Na say atija. Because me nya sure say nipa osi ye besi school ha na mu nyina na mo wo sa kronum na school na mo be dia say enye school a ye ni konkonwa for school e na ye ni bimoba for school anameboa ini say school na ye kwa akoye wo ho na obi akodo ho nye na enye koko e na wadua enye cashew e na wadua na ye bayere ni atoko ye a ye dua ya na obi akodua wa akaba kan to ka be na be free we mu aba because just 3 months period now we harvesting the crop mu school na mu koye and even mu koye mu beye school nu kura ampo na kaba I don't see why this will become a serious problem but let's draw this national solution to this problem let's seriously maybe a politician so I know the kind of advances sometimes that come and the way I'm able to trash most of them out just for my sake and for public interest. In this ye pese ye solve mre bia se ne ye adwin say esrem ho no they are violent poverty here na mo muku that is they are not the issues until we get the root cause of violence na etensi wo ho na ye betra aka say sa no mutie na bia na omuko it is not sa no mutie. But we have very, 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 very many of them. When you get closer to them, they rather advise you say, we. Now, if such things happen, then why do we still have those violence going on? The chieftaincy no can also power struggle. There are so many ways of obtaining power. There is a remote cause. Into remote cause no kabanesa we you Midawasi, Niameka no.
Yo, Obanize Ozu, Mientie we ahensem tokwasem asase wonsem ekoso esremu mantem.
Well, me so hunu kakra na say asase ene ahensem very emotional. Very, very, very. I say inipa said e dey reshe ye henimu ne asase ye nkwamu no nsesan over the years. Now, I really don't understand how it's nearby into your book, Nayan cancer. Maybe like Ahmed Khan, or say investigate a psychological setup in Kakra. Then a man, so about Brownhafa, as I say, Manso, Bibri, and so you bequire him fear. If I have fear, and say, I say, a beco court, a bequa could say any a betria in your tickle coupe, a practice or a commancy, who's a cuckoo scabba no life for Botomay. Get down, Master Chamber, or Clanty Baba. And here, see a cuckoo, you do cuckooska, cuckoo buy a home bed, on the baby, you know. But
the beer cocoa ni honinti.
You know, I have no on tia say ye. The cry Emma Statiana Tokwa. Statiana she will be dying. And that's another thing that I find very strange.
In the same type of houses.
Aye. Yeah, I need the jatutum.
No machine.
No machine. Say no who say a Pam will be move through community no more.
Exactly.
It's quite difficult for me to appreciate. But me chiti say ye yama aye ni pe wo no say ukwan ye nyohwe ukwan obi ye ntokwa say e ba ye nchi obi a no
police ratio no so low
ye nchi obi a enti wo tu
no me ntwa no me ko ho na ye dey case be call police station police for do buy
o ko hifa
me call same baby me ko tran obe 1 year police ni no buy a obi be wi a ye yi na dey no call police station police ni no buy went me anchi nipa
adenji
nipa na ye be 100 police chi na no maji no police chi na no police antimi anchi and police for mu ho no so so a serious problem in the police ratio population also you're checking up.
So maybe that's another part of it because impunity will hop. And I also na offer me GD say nipa office or yahwe abibiansi nti ye ne no atwetuo ye ne no atwe dade ya ebe communal violence na obi anya hwe
broni ne gina was Ghana police can catch no India ni broni amen Ghana police can catch.
But a very serious matter.
It's serious.
Sir, Ahmed Ayebi ni ntumi anche no a. Mesumi ebi amiri ntumi nchimi na kamanso ayebi. Na ekoso. So does it mean say a police for no ihia dodo because on my sika e de ko ho no sika ketwa. The country invests heavily ewo ho go infrastructure or nyoma mu a often through ntokwa na asai no. Often nipa no ankasa a ye invest ade na mana boa wo mu no ntokwa na ekuku ye ho dibi kura obi owo hwehunu ni bi ode be adwuma no ontimi meye na asai kwa enti se ye disa investment no na se police population ratio no na enya o se epekwa bi so man ko se be bon ba because enra na me monitor report bi ewia no a nipa no ofre no what say oh police ni bi any ha meanwhile, police commander so na kasa so yeah monitor situation. Meanwhile, na kwa no so kasa for also tuo to na to police ni bi any ha. So be a police commander na go for where adena ano e den chaw ma no ma tenchen ba bi no ma tro.
Right, be police commander no say omo mututu no omutu free enwira.
Whatever
omutu enwira ma outskirts of the town.
How many distance?
I don't know.
But I idea GD say also man man ni ko ho ye wo de ntokwa esisire mu na sen apose for di na sen ho say bi kura da ho da ho ko de no boko de no da ho cooperation. These are all extra cost to the nation. Sika nkasa eska no e de yes ade ni nyina e de ke betimi akoye infrastructure bi aboa boko for no ankasa
bit na ko sisa
school no ama ho
omoko asase no
so enti we did this and then somehow I was said the psyche must also working on nipa no ankasa your psyche no ya
dwene no see aptitude na change
yes
your independence in kroma kan
o say your attitude no so sesa violence how come say the rest of the nation no yenye santokwa no
allow me be so question among for tabao herself who Apple support when there are chieftaincy dispute you don't have that advance.
Oh, that
is it. And did you say in your orientation or ba film said they were resolve it?
I listen. Exactly. The obe can be a mean can be.
Exactly.
Because the obe cano the obe cano on the way
or say
Okwaha. So now if there are factions, untumi nkofenya found. We are politician okwaha ombeka omo dia no akwaha ombeka omo dia but what there you make sure say you don't make any pronouncement.
So orientation we here national.
So
but for the best here na opening we dey over here nso to DVLA ho na naka no ye adwuma efutu be na o madara for accident na sha say man ho so akoma my efutu akra ne enko
the report to ye him say if you be quiet am pa me yam ahye because they say no ya na direct from be quiet no mo fire mransa bus no say you know a London transport no no you turn or the free be quiet ba I hope that it is not true na Emma ho me take akra because yeah if you feel ni pe bi ebe wom and me point am friend ma find out but best driver for sabre nso tutu a efrebre aquaplaning or hydroplaning
enu bi na
akoye cheap plane no oho ka onam ni nyina no tire no agrepo asase no and the more stability but nso to a nso be di tire no ne asase no mfimfi nti tire ntumi nche no nti unya emergency a untumi mo break man nche da ebeske de ebe pa panso a u chim se an ko bonkum na ka no so ko nifa to ani beba ho so no na obubu fa so enti ebestra driver for America 10 no yen to ebo pa na eden a kwan no ebeduru so
asa o cost of road safety for
oh me bo mo pa me no mo ye adwuma pa me MPs me no mo fire as advocates of road safety ti ye no mo ye adwuma me ni the current minister for this year didn't call Nino Tidua. We were both members of the road safety board and still. But Subayan one kasa maybe the my road safety challenge, you know, Subayo. Driver phone baby take things for granted. Oh, yeah, the same Ricano nature, so you good driver.
That's we catch our quino so.
I don't know, so you good. And as I say, quino so asphalt no to Yamranza no from Bequia Bessie Praso no almost high and for frontier fresh. It's smooth so. Until they would go Cacrabi over
my asphalt ya almost and the chippings no be good so no.
There be any
all the rationale behind
there be any asphalt and chippings will be a na a tutu. Na omunya omonye skanya asphalt replacement na
that's part not to yourself and replacement.
Yeah, so cut it.
Ever see ya da munyina asemo a mo send your text messages ya da mo asemo a mo send email na afemo a mo cho Facebook or and other penifo be kan yensa Ora Ahmed Ibrahim time about one person so mrashe bedwani opani da ase banda be ba so na ase nya ba so
banda be ba so na me boa bia this week on this week me na be boa na enya tu
ala fin so Ora Jo say usu mrashe bedwani ya de ma be kwa e do afo esre mo ma yenye no boko e wo kwan no so na Yakopon fa yenko no fa emra ye koni aba yenko modi yo ho e be to aso de ama ansa na ye de billboard ato aso na efisem so ato aso ansa na no de dwumade nyina akọ na wie ye ba sisia